So, for my second interaction and as Diraj's cultural host, I decided to take him to a Sunday church service at St. John's Catholic Church here in town. And before the event, I was really nervous because religion can be uncomfortable in general, and when you're in a really unfamiliar setting and just something you're not used to, it can be weird. And religion is kind of a touchy thing with many people. So I was just a little concerned how he would take it, but he told me he was interested in seeing what a service would be like that I typically attend. So I wasn't too concerned, and I knew he'd be open-minded to it. When we first walked in, I knew he felt really uncomfortable just because he had to follow my lead and was just kind of looking around, being like, what is going on? Just following where I was going, didn't know where to sit and everything. But I tried my best to make him feel comfortable and make sure he knew it was fine, and, it's okay if you don't know what you're doing. And I was mostly concerned that he was going to feel really anxious or frustrated just hearing about kind of having someone preaching to you about something you don't really believe in would be weird, hard to stay open-minded and not maybe feel irritated or heated just because you're I don't believe this. So I was a little concerned about that and just how everything would go, or if it would be the worst thing in the world that ever happened. But I think it all went well in general. When it was time for communion, which was another worry I had, just because I don't know if he'd feel super weird about everyone's getting up and everything, and he just has to not know what to do. But I told him he could just sit because if you haven't been baptized or confirmed, then you typically just won't take communion, and that he could just sit and wait, and I'd be right back. And it went smoothly, which was great. The whole time I was sitting there, I was really just thinking how weird it must be to be listening to someone preaching to you and just doing something you've never done, and he might not even believe in everything, so it would probably just be a really weird setting to already be doing something out of your comfort zone and not typical in your culture or your religion, but then on top of that being somewhere you've never been and being told to believe these things that you don't believe in. And I'm not even Catholic myself, so I'm actually Lutheran, which is very similar to Catholicism, but I choose to go to St. John's Catholic Church just because I like the service the best. And still sometimes myself, I feel a little uncomfortable because I'm trying to listen and everything, but sometimes they'll say the Apostles' Creed, or we'll even have music that's slightly different. I have to kind of adjust while I'm there and try to follow along. So I couldn't imagine how he was feeling when he's in a situation he's never been in. It was just a really overall, it was a good experience, something different. I've never really done that before. I was really hopeful that he was going to enjoy his time, which I think he did, because he thanked me after and said it was really interesting just to see all of that and kind of compare what he does. And a small insight that I had was just that it would probably be really interesting just to experience something so out of your comfort zone from a different culture, just like Diraj had to do, because I think a lot of times we don't really have opportunities to do that because, when are you going to do something that's super out of your comfort zone? So I think it was a good experience for him just to see something that he's never seen before, and I would definitely be interested in doing something like that myself with other cultures, and maybe even him if he's open to it.